Okay, ready to dive into some serious AI stuff today. We've got Gawdat's insights to unpack, and wow, he really paints a picture of a future transformed by AI, especially for the retail world.
Yeah, he's not exactly subtle, is he? The frog in boiling water analogy? That's us with AI right now, he says.
And he's not wrong, is he? It's like we just woke up in a sci-fi movie, but it's real life. AI is advancing so fast, it's kind of terrifying.
It's that exponential growth he keeps emphasizing. People hear growth and think, okay, things are changing, but exponential, that's a whole different ballgame. Most haven't wrapped their heads around that yet.
Exactly. Like that Netscape moment he talks about. Back when the internet went mainstream, it's not like the internet was brand new then, but Netscape, that browser, made it click for everyone. Suddenly, everyone got it.
And ChatGPT is doing the same for AI. It's becoming the go-to user-friendly face of this technology that's been brewing behind the scenes for a while now.
Speaking of things brewing behind the scenes, that cat paper experiment still blows my mind. You know the one? Google basically set their computers loose on YouTube.
Oh yeah, to figure out how to identify cats without actually telling them what a cat is. That was wild.
And they did it. That's the whole deep learning thing in action, right?
It's like instead of giving the computer a checklist, okay, cats have whiskers, pointy ears, a tail, you're creating a system that figures it out itself through trial and error, just like a kid would.
So, like a child learning shapes by shoving them into those different holes until something clicks?
That's exactly, but on a massive scale, with way more data than our human brains could ever handle. That's how AI is accomplishing things we never thought possible. Gawdat even argues that it's exceeding Einstein's estimated IQ in some tasks already.
Okay, now that's both amazing and slightly terrifying. I mean, if AI can teach itself to recognize cats just by watching YouTube, what else is it capable of learning? And what's that mean for, well, everything? Especially for businesses, for us, for the future of retail.
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it's what we'll be unpacking as we dig deeper into Gawdat's vision of the future, particularly for the retail world. Buckle up, because things are about to get really interesting.
Oh, I'm buckled in and ready for the ride. But first, a quick word from our sponsors. All right, so AI learning faster than a cheetah on a rocket, teaching itself to tell a tabby from a tiger, I get it. But how does this actually play out in, the real world? What's AI going to do to retail?
And that's where Gawdat gets really interesting. He doesn't sugarcoat it. He addresses those big, scary questions head on, like, is a robot coming for my job? But then he kind of flips the script.
He doesn't actually think everyone's going to be out of work just because there's AI.
Not quite. He points to history, right? Think about the agricultural revolution or the industrial revolution. Those were huge shifts for sure.
Definitely. Machines showing up on farms and factories totally changed things.
But it wasn't that we didn't need farmers or factory workers anymore. It's just the skill set needed to thrive. It changed. It wasn't about the same old tasks.
So like knowing how to operate a tractor became more valuable than knowing how to plant seeds by hand.
Exactly. It's about adapting, mastering the new tools. And today, that means understanding AI, figuring out how to leverage it, not just fearing it.
So this isn't some far-off robot takeover. AI is already changing the game for retail right now. What's an example of that?
Think about those personalized recommendations you see online. You might also like. That's often AI at work, analyzing what you've browsed, what you've bought, even what others with similar tastes are into, way beyond what any human could keep track of.
Right. It's like having a personal shopper, but it's an algorithm.
And it goes beyond that. Inventory management. AI is already doing it, predicting demand, figuring out stock levels, factoring in weather patterns, you name it.
So less waste, more efficiency, hopefully cheaper stuff for us shoppers, eventually.
Exactly. But I know what you're thinking. This all sounds great in theory, but there's a creepy side, right? Like, I don't love the idea of AI knowing I want those new sneakers before I do. And then there's that whole ethical can of worms.
Yeah, like those social media algorithms that seem to know us better than we know ourselves. A little Big Brother-ish, if you ask me.
Absolutely. And Gawdat doesn't shy away from that. He talks about the potential for AI to be used unethically. That example he gives AI predicting which customers will walk into a store based on foot traffic patterns. That could easily feel invasive.
Seriously creepy, actually.
Yeah.
But he challenges us to think differently, right?
He says, flip the script. What if retailers use that predictive power not for manipulation, but to improve things? What if they used it to create genuinely useful, personalized experiences for shoppers? Imagine the possibilities.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. It's not about the tech itself. It's how we choose to use it.
And that responsibility, that's on all of us, retailers, developers, consumers. We need to start asking the tough questions. setting ethical boundaries now, while AI is still in its early stages otherwise.
So where do we go from here?
Mm.
It's a lot to process, this whole AI revolution thing. What can we, regular folks do to prepare ourselves? I mean, not all of us are coding ninjas.
You'd be surprised. It's becoming more accessible than you might think. Gawdat actually offers some great advice on this. He breaks it down into 3 key skills. The first one, don't be scared to just jump in and start using the tools.
Oh, easier said than done.
Yeah.
I open up ChatGPT and my brain just freezes. It's all algorithms and jargon.
It can seem overwhelming, but that's the thing. A lot of these tools, ChatGPT, Gemini, others, they're getting incredibly user-friendly. You don't need to be a programmer to figure them out.
So play around, experiment a bit.
Exactly. The more you use them, the less intimidating they become. The second skill, become a truth seeker.
Truth seeker. Okay, how do we do that? Put on our detective hats.
Think of it this way. AI is powerful, no doubt, but it's not some all-knowing being. It's only as good as the information it's been fed, and, like we've talked about, that information can be skewed, biased.
Right, it all comes back to those data sets. Garbage in, garbage out.
Exactly. So don't accept everything AI spits out as gospel truth. Use your critical thinking skills. Question things. Cross-reference. Do your own digging. AI can be a tool for thinking, but it shouldn't replace our own thinking.
Love that. AI, a tool, not a replacement.
Yeah.
Okay, the third skill Gawdat talks about is really interesting. Human connection. Why is that so important in this whole AI-driven future? I would think it would become less important.
Think about it. What makes us human?
Yeah.
It's our ability to connect, empathize, form genuine relationships. Yeah, AI can mimic that stuff, but it can't truly replicate it.
And Gawdat's really putting his money where his mouth is with this one, choosing to do more speaking engagements, connecting with people directly, rather than, say, writing books, which he thinks AI can handle just fine now.
Exactly. He sees the value in what we as humans can offer that AI simply can't. And frankly, I think that's really encouraging.
It is. So as we stand here on the edge of this AI-powered future, I'm realizing the most important question isn't just what can AI do, but what do we want it to do? How can we make sure it's used ethically? How do we shape this technology for the better? That's on all of us, right?
100%. The future of AI, it's not predetermined. We're writing the rules right now, all of us. And that's both a huge responsibility and an incredible opportunity. This deep dive has definitely given me a lot to chew on, and I hope our listeners feel the same way.
Absolutely. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Head over to our social media and let us know, what role do you see yourself playing in shaping an ethical and hopefully abundant AI-powered future? That's something to think about. Until next time, keep learning, keep asking questions, and most importantly, keep connecting with each other. See you all next time.